The comment of the day goes to O'Brien here, and he says, I think K2SO's memory card is an R2-D2. What do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. The best answer gets a pin. What's up, Net Soldiers? I'm the Alliance. Welcome to another Friday Fun Day. Today we're going to be going over the top 10 questions that Star Wars The Last Jedi did not answer. Now, this is probably going to be a spoiler video, as you can probably tell. So if you have not seen The Last Jedi, which, you know, if you're a channel subscriber of mine and you like Star Wars, chances are you have. But just to be safe, it's not 60 days since its release, so a spoiler tag will still be going up. So this video is from Watch Mojo, and what I'm pretty much going to do is I'm going to dissect all these questions to see just how good these are, or if they're just kind of nitpicking, or if they're actually serious questions. So that's what I'm going to be doing in this video. So for more Star Wars content, please remember to like, subscribe, and turn notifications for more good, juicy Star Wars content.
Number 10. What is the state of the rest of the galaxy?
This is outrageous. I object to the Senator's statements.
The chair does not recognize the Senator from the Trade Federation at this time.
While the new trilogy is doing away with the politics that may have overstayed their welcome in the prequel trilogy, we'd still like to see how the rest of the galaxy lives. Granted, we see Jakku and a casino on Canto Bight, but that's the closest look we get.
1/4 portion.
The First Order destroys 5 Republic planets in The Force Awakens, and we see a glimpse of life there before the destruction. But has the First Order occupied other planets? Or has life continued as usual? Is there turmoil and unrest in the galaxy? Or is the First Order busy dealing with the Resistance before turning on the people? Number 9. How did Rey and Kylo force...
Okay, hold up. I would like to see that. I know they definitely explore that in the novels. I know that for sure. But, you know, in the prequels, you can complain about the politics if you don't like them. And they might be a little sketchy here and there when it comes to the prequels' politics. I get that. But at least like the prequels felt like it was a massive story. It was kind of like this massive political conversation and story going on throughout the entire galaxy, where like the originals and specifically the sequels focus on just like a couple characters going around to the different planets. It's not as massive as a story. So, you know, that's something that you could take into account if you want to give a prequel a pro. If you want to give the prequels a certain amount of pros or something like that, that's something you could add towards it. So, I don't know. It's interesting. I would like to see that too. There's a bunch of books on it, I'm sure. I just don't really feel like reading the books. I bought a bunch. I'm going to be doing some reading soon. Just haven't read any of the canon books yet. So let's see how it goes. All right, next one.
Force connect at the end after Snoke's death. Throughout the movie, we see interactions between Kylo and Rey as they communicate through the Force. When brought into the throne room towards the end of the film, Snoke reveals that it was he who orchestrated their connection.
When I found you, I saw raw, untamed power.
When he dies, Kylo and Rey share an additional connection. If Snoke was the one who was supposedly making that happen, how are they still able to do it? Did their initial connections create a Force bond that tied them together, or was Snoke lying in order to retain dominance over the two?
And I will finish what you started.
Number 8. Where's Lando?
That's a good question. For me personally, I think the reason why they're still linked is because my theory is that the Snoke that we saw was just a puppet of the true Snoke hiding somewhere deeper in the galaxy. Kind of like the whole Vitiate and Valkorian thing. If you guys haven't seen that, look that up. It's pretty cool. It's an interesting thing to kind of bring into this new universe, especially now that we're establishing new Force abilities. You know, like being able to transcend the physical plane. Well, I shouldn't say transcend the physical plane, but being able to send your body light years away to another planet using the Force. That's something, you know. Force Ghost, being able to use lightning. That's something new, you know. And the new canon, of course. We've seen stuff like that kind of in Legends, but in the canon, we haven't seen that yet. So the idea that someone was controlling the body of Snoke, and he's still out there, this super powerful being is still out there, and he's going to come in episode 9, that'd be pretty cool. I also kind of like the idea that, like, what Snoke did was he bridged their minds using his Force abilities, right? But then when he died, he forgot to unbridge them, right? So, like he bridged them, and then, like, the bridge is still up. So they'll still be able to see each other and connect with each other, even though the person who initially created that bridge is gone. So that'd be pretty cool. We're definitely going to figure that out in episode 9. That's going to be a plot point, I hope, in episode 9.
Lando.
How you doing, you old pirate? So good to see you!
Lando's a fan favorite of the original trilogy, and with a lot of the original cast reprising their roles in the new trilogy, we had hoped Lando would be one of them.
Perhaps you think you're being treated unfairly?
While we've yet to see him, there's still a chance he'll appear in Episode 9.
Come on, Han, old buddy, don't let me down.
As long as he's brought back in a way that feels natural to the story and isn't just blatant fan service, we'll be happy. We hoped he was going to be the Master Codebreaker, but nope.
This deal is getting worse all the time.
It's just a shame we won't be able to see Lando and Han together again. Number 7.
I actually thought that they were going to do... When I was watching Episode 8, and they were like, oh, you have to go find this guy, and Maz is like, yo, go find this guy, he's called the Master Codebreaker, and I'm thinking... You know what, if anyone could probably hit their way into becoming the Master Codebreaker, or being known as the Master Codebreaker, it'd be Lando, right? Or even better, when they go to find the Master Codebreaker and they go in jail, instead of that DJ guy, that should have been Lando. That's who I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't, so that's unfortunate. But, that's the way it goes, I guess.
What will Leia's fate be in Episode 9?
A little short for a stormtrooper.
Huh?
Since Carrie Fisher tragically passed away after production, there was little The Last Jedi could do to shed light on this, and we still wonder what will happen to her character in the next movie.
May the Force be with you.
Will her character live on but not be seen? Or will Leia pass away in between films? Editing scenes in The Last Jedi to kill Leia would have been a disservice to Fisher, and would have had such an impact on the remaining scenes, there undoubtedly would have been reshoots. We hope J.J. Abrams can find a way to answer this with grace. I mean, hey, it's J.J., of course he can.
What is it they've sent us?
Hope.
Number 6, if ramming up...
I think that Episode 9 is going to begin with her funeral, I'm pretty sure. Like, she died from the injuries she had in The Last Jedi. Or maybe, like, some type of, like, impact from that caused her funeral. So Episode 9 is going to begin with her funeral. And that's what's going to rally the rest of the Republic to come, well, the rest of the Resistance or the remaining Republic to rally. Like, her death is going to be the martyr that brings all the people who are against the First Order together to come combat the First Order. So that's what I think. I think that'd be pretty interesting.
At light speed causes that much damage. Why hasn't it been tried before? Seeing this happen in The Last Jedi was so damn cool. It completely obliterated the First Order ships, killing a ton of enemy troops. Maybe no one knew of the devastation it would cause? What would have happened if a transport ship was rammed into the Death Star? Or a Naboo freighter into a droid control ship in Episode 1? Well, it would have ended the saga a lot sooner, that's what. But still, it does take someone inside to initiate hyperspace travel. But if someone knew they could end a war and go out a hero, there certainly would have been no shortage of volunteers.
Right now I feel like I take on the whole Empire myself.
I know what you mean.
Number 5, how did Maz Kanata get...
Yeah, that's pretty cool. You know, I get that. Why has no one ever used it before? I remember when I was a kid, I actually thought about that, but I never really, thought about it. And then when it happened in the movie, I was like, wow, interesting. But yeah, it's definitely a good question. And I definitely think it's something that is going to be forgotten in the future, though. Like, they'll never use that ability ever again. So, yeah. How did Maz Kanata get Luke's lightsaber? Yeah, this is an important one.
Luke's lightsaber.
That lightsaber was Luke's, and his father's before him, and now it calls to you.
Luke loses his saber when Vader chops off his hand in The Empire Strikes Back. With the lightsaber falling down a seemingly endless pit in Cloud City, it makes us wonder how Maz would have it with her 30 years later. We know Maz is a wise and highly respected individual, once a pirate and a smuggler, so she's definitely got some connections, especially with the tavern bringing in so many unique individuals. Someone may have found it and handed it to her, but we don't know for sure. Number 4, why didn't Holdo...
I want to know that too. I think they're probably going to explain that away in the book, though. They probably won't explain that in Episode 9, unfortunately. Definitely should have, but they won't. And I'd like to see that, though.
Tell Poe she planned to evacuate the Resistance.
This one's definitely honest. Listen to this one.
Look, if we thought all we were doing was waiting for fuel to run out so we could die, we'd take issue too. Poe definitely has a problem with this, and starts a mutiny to save lives.
Go straight at him! Don't let these thugs scare you!
If he'd have just known what the plan was, about the retreat to an abandoned rebel base, this wouldn't have happened. We know that Leia and Holdo wanted to send a message that rushing into things and being a hero isn't always the best thing to do, but the stakes were way too high if that was the reason Holdo didn't tell Poe the plan. Number 3, was Kylo Ren lying?
I agree with that one. Holdo was dumb with that. They messed up her character with that thing. Like, she was just keeping things way too secret, and she didn't have to, so that was dumb.
About Rey's parents. The Force Awakens sets up a mystery about who Rey's parents are, and Rey desperately tries to discover this for herself in The Last Jedi, only for Kylo to tell her that they're nobodies. This could have just been a ruse, something Kylo thought she needed to hear in order for her to join him. Or it could be the truth.
You already know the truth. Whomever you're waiting for on Jakku, they're never coming back.
The Last Jedi sends the message that you don't have to come from something to be somebody, and Rey's parents being Junkers certainly reinforces this message. Maybe they are nobodies, and we've seen them before. DJ is a handsome fellow. Who knows how many women he's been with in the galaxy?
I need someone to show me my place in all this.
Number 2, where are the Knights of Ren?
Yes, I agree with that one. I think that Kylo told her the truth that he knows. Like, he didn't actually say the actual truth that is the actual truth. He says the truth that he was told. So to him, the truth is actually false. You know what I mean? So that's what I think, that story. So he only knows what he's been told by, like, maybe Snoke, or maybe some type of intel he did or something. I think there is more to her character. I like the idea that you can come from nothing and be something great. I like that idea. But I do think that there is more to her character still, and I'm excited to see what happens in episode 9 for sure.
Ren.
Even you, master of the Knights of Ren, have never faced such a test.
Ben took a few pupils with him when he burned Luke's academy to the ground, but where are they? The Knights of Ren are seen briefly in a flashback in The Force Awakens, and are mentioned once in The Last Jedi, but that's it. We'd love to see these Force users in action, and hopefully they make their debut in episode 9. Maybe they've been in training this whole time, appearing only when ready to utterly destroy their foes. Or perhaps they're being kept hidden as a last resort when Kylo really thinks he has no chance of winning by himself. Number 1.
I heard a theory that that they are going to be in episode 9, and Rey's going to have her own, like, new band of Jedi, or heroes. Not that they're all going to be Jedi, but they're going to be some heroes, and then, like, Kylo's going to have his own band of the Knights, and then those are going to, like, be like the main conflicts going to be these group of Lightsiders versus this group of Darksiders. I think that's pretty cool. I like to see that. You know, Rey has her staff blade she used with the 2 pieces of Anakin's lightsaber. That'd be cool, in my opinion.
1. Who the hell is Snoke?
Fulfill
Here we have this frightening humanoid alien scarred beyond recognition, a voice that strikes fear into anyone's heart, an incredible command of the dark side of the Force, and dead. He didn't even last until the 3rd movie. We have no idea how he became so powerful, what his true identity was, or why he had his agenda.
Then the Resistance must be destroyed before they get to Skywalker.
Some theorize that he was Sidious's old master, Darth Plagueis, and others think he was just the big bad, there to serve a purpose, and that's it. Well, yeah. Purpose served. With him dead, we won't know for sure until the next movie.
Bring her to me.
Do you agree? And like I said, that's it. You know, I really hope he wasn't just a big bad here to just be killed off, you know, or to be just tossed aside. Snoke's a really cool villain, and I just hope there's more to it. So that's why I do hope that there is a bigger bad out there who was controlling Snoke this entire time. But of course, that's just my opinion. So there you go, guys. That has been the top 10 questions from Star Wars The Last Jedi that were not in. And that's the problem with The Last Jedi for me personally. A lot of the big questions asked in The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi kind of answered them, but it didn't answer them great. It was kind of just like it didn't have a payoff. You know, and I'm not a huge fan of that. So that's one of my biggest gripes with the film. But yeah. For more Star Wars videos, please like, subscribe, and turn notifications. If you guys want to see more stuff like this, and you find stuff like this out there on the webs, make sure to share those in the comments below. And if I use it, I'll give you a shout out in that video. So that's it for now, guys. I'll catch you later. Peace.